Hey, this is Smart Impressions with Rachel, and I get excited because I got NYC in the house. I'm unlocking business relationships one connection at a time, and you are going to love today's show because if you got a course and you just don't know what to do, how to get it out there, or you've been dying to get on that stage to really show your face and get some credibility, then you're going to love my guest today. It's Terry Rice. Thanks and welcome to the show, Terry.
Hey, Rachel. Thanks for having me today. I appreciate it.
It's lovely to have a fellow New Yorker on the show, especially we're across the globe. And here we are live on LinkedIn, YouTube, and Instagram. So people can hear your expertise and really talk about it. Now, I love what you're doing because there's no doubt it's a big world out there when it comes to online content. And when it comes to programs that people are trying to get that revenue stream going, I know there's a lot of pain because not so easy. It's easier said than done. Wouldn't you agree?
Yeah, and I think there's a lot of either bad or outdated advice out there that I'm happy to debunk with you. So it's another reason why I'm glad to be here with you today.
Yay, let's start because I think, you're the man you're in the thick of it when it comes to that content creation, what people are doing, what they're faced against. And I can't tell you, we're all sitting there watching content about how easy it is to make money and you could just be earning so simply, but is it really that easy?
I would say it's not easy. I think it's simple, but it's also challenging at the same time. And I think the less you fall victim to distractions that are disguised as opportunities, the more likely you are to achieve success.
Cool. And so what would be a distraction that maybe some of your clients are faced with?
A lot of tools out there, a lot of marketing tools, a lot of automation tools that promise you, hey, this is going to happen automatically overnight. You don't have to do any work. And all of a sudden you find out they don't work either. And that's the challenge. So I think if we can just master the fundamentals, there are tools out there that'll amplify the impact of what we're doing, but there aren't any real shortcuts out there if you don't have a good foundation in place in the first place.
All right. Well, clearly building just a program online is, I think, the first to overcome, right? What are some of your tips around what to do or what to look for when building a program?
A program or a profile? I want to make sure I'm answering it correctly.
If you're doing a program for, if you're selling a course online, for example, right? Of that course, there's steps that people can take to build that course.
Yeah, I'll share what I did because I like sharing experiences as opposed to like how-to content. So I had this online course that I created called the Solopreneur Shortcut. It teaches you how to start your own business based on the skills that you already have. And I think my challenge and a lot of other creators' challenge is we assume we know what our audience wants. We build it, nobody buys it, and we're surprised about it. So this time I did the right thing, which was surveying my audience. I actually surveyed 300 people on LinkedIn to understand what they would want in a course like this. And one thing that surprised me was people wanted the nuts and bolts, but they also wanted just a confidence booster, showing them they could actually do this. So had I not done that research on my audience, I would have not thought to include a section just on how to boost your confidence. And knowing so, I mean, if you're not confident in your ability to actually take action on what you've learned, the course would not work, right? So like taking that time, it took me about 6 hours to get 300 replies. That just drastically changed the direction my course could have went. And at the same time, I was collecting these people's email addresses. So once the course came out, I said, hey, thanks so much for your input here. You said you wanted this, and this in a course. Guess what? It comes out next month. It's going to cost this much, but in exchange for your early support, I want to give you an early bird special price on this, 50% off if you sign up between now and this date. So that's the process that I finally took in regards to launching my course. It took me a few iterations of failure to do that, but that's what I would recommend.
Amazing. And so I really want to tap into this survey journey that you did because honestly, that people can have a lot of expertise, but like you said, tons of people out there are selling products and services that nobody wants to buy. And so talk to me through this journey of the survey that you built. What kind of things were you looking for? What did you uncover? And how was that conversion based on your community, who you targeted?
Yeah, I mean, really what I was looking for is how to avoid mistakes with my course, because I built courses in the past that I thought I had to put everything in the kitchen sink into them. They were so long that no one completed it. So I was like, okay, like what is like the most basic information you need to get you through the first 90 days of your business? And those are the questions that I asked. But what I also want to point out is this is time consuming. This is not easy to DM hundreds of people and ask them to fill out a survey. So what I did is I identified my target audience, and these are emerging or new entrepreneurs. and then sent them a connection request, not an email, a connection request saying, "Hey, looks like you're in this realm right now. You're trying to build out your business. I have a few questions to ask you that might help me help you in the future." And when I was asking these questions and DMing people, I was just watching Netflix the whole time. I just watched like 3 movies on Netflix, so I was just kind of doing my thing the whole time. It didn't feel like
Multitasking.
whatsoever. And again, just to reiterate, I got 72 responses within the first week, and by the end of the month, I had 300 responses. So it went pretty well.
Amazing. Did you have like a survey monkey? Did you use that with numerous questions?
No, I used just Google Forms. And one thing I want to point out is really important. Before you reach out to someone, make sure they're actually active on the platform. If they have not liked, commented, shared, done anything in the past month, you're probably wasting your time. So you want to pick and choose a bit. And before you send that request, just engage with their content too. At least like a post, do something. That way you're more top of mind with these individuals. And then lastly, I saved the outreach message as a shortcut on my phone. So I just pushed a few buttons, went on the merry way, and I went back to watching TV. So that was my process.
Cool. What a great return though. From 300, you got 77. Is that what your conversion was?
No, I had a total of 300. I got 72 within the first month. So, and one thing I would say is, and this is another like additive, is at the end of the survey, you can say, do you know anyone else who might want to share this information with me? If so, please send it to them. So therefore you can use your existing audience to grow your new audience as well.
Awesome. And these are people that knew you, knew of you, follower, they were just ice cold.
A mix of all three, actually. Some that were following me, some that I knew personally, and some that were just cold. But like I said, I would interact with their content first. So at least there was some kind of moment of relevance. And then from there, go ahead with the ask.
Cool. I love that because, you know, one of the things we're doing in our community, we got all different type of people listening in, ideally people that are looking to grow their businesses, the top leaders of their businesses, and even sales professionals within their business, you know, that are trying to build and scale. And there's no doubt when you're reaching out to ice cold, it becomes very challenging. So what do you think that was one of the leading factors of why people responded to you?
Yeah, I want to harp on this to an extent because so many people on LinkedIn, Instagram, whatever it is, they have challenges getting their content discovered, right? You know, views are down, so on and so forth. It could be demoralizing. So on my end, instead of using LinkedIn as a discovery channel where people are discovering me for the first time, I use it as a credibility channel. So therefore, when I reach out to someone like you can look at my content and say, wow, this guy's actually legit. I will respond to him. So it's really preparing yourself in advance of that outreach that really matters. So making sure you have really good content on your page, a defined profile, a picture, so on and so forth, but just look presentable, whatever that means in your industry. And that alone will greatly increase the chance of you getting a response.
Yeah, LinkedIn has some incredible stats, you know, and they're pushing it all the time so that you use it more. But I absolutely love the platform. If you're doing any business at all, if you are trying to sell yourself, if you go to Google, it's the first thing that comes up, right? So their SEO is strong. It's an opportunity you don't want to miss. And so as we're talking about credibility, because clearly you got credibility, I wouldn't have invited you here if I didn't think you had it. And so I love that you've been able to establish that in a way that's really interesting because you've tapped into audiences new and old and really gotten feedback to try to guide and curate the right solution for your customers. So you're not going out there ice cold, you know, and really building that relationship, which, you know, I can't say enough, but what you're doing is extremely important. And I love that you're sharing it with everybody here today. So I know one thing you do is jump on stage and help people with stage as well, right?
Yeah, I enjoy public speaking. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, how does that play a role, you know, in credibility?
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the thing people miss out on quite often. People who want to be keynote speakers, speak in public, so on and so forth, is you have to give people a taste of what it's like to have you speak on their stage. So therefore, you need video content. And maybe you're saying, well, Terry, I've not been on the stage. How can I do this? You can still walk around your neighborhood or just sit in your room and say something smart. So having that video content is going to reduce the amount of risk involved with someone wanting to hire you as a speaker. And therefore, if you're doing this and also cranking out really great relevant content, you're more likely to land these deals. And then once you do land a speaking gig, you want to highlight that. And don't just say, I am honored and proud to speak at this event, because that sounds corny. You want to say things that, hey, here's what I learned from other speakers at this event, or here's how I calm my nerves before I get on stage, so on and so forth. So you can flex and mention the fact that you're a speaker, but do so in a way that's educational for the audience, and that you're not just bragging that you spoke at like South by Southwest or something like that.
Yeah, fair enough. I know, because there's like this middle gray area where people are just bragging about what they're doing. And a lot of professionals are like, I don't want to be that person. There's also that concern of like, oh my God, I got to build content. Where do I start? Right. And so there's there's so many different areas around this, but incorporating the stage, incorporating the online journey, and really understanding who you're talking to is key. And I think you're using those all three pretty effectively, right? So how are you telling people how to monetize, or at least what to measure when it comes to these type of practices?
Here's one challenge I see quite often with anyone trying to grow their brand or business on social media is they're optimizing for the wrong outcomes. And what I mean by that is they're saying, how many likes did this post get? How many comments did this post get? Last time I checked, you can't pay your rent with likes or comments, right? So it's like, you have to be okay with having a deeper connection with a smaller audience. And the way that I measure success is a few ways. One is DMs, or people reaching out to me saying, hey, Terry, I saw your post about XYZ. Can I talk to you about something? And or going to my website and filling out a form. And these are things that you wouldn't see from the outside, but on the inside, I know, hey, this is working. So I think it's really just like putting your ego aside and realizing, okay, what are my actual business outcomes that I'm driving to with my content, with my interactions? And then from there, you'll view success differently. Because I know it is tough when you have all these posts out there that no one seems to care about, no one's engaging with, but that's not really what you're here for, right? You're here for business outcomes. So that's what you want to monitor and optimize.
Cool. Awesome. I love that. I hope people are finding value, because I am just listening to what you have to say. So really, Terry, it's a pleasure having you here. We are as quick as a New York minute here on Smart Impressions. And I want to wrap it up with at least 3 tips that you think people should use when it's all about optimizing and getting that credibility for business professionals to engage and get the results that are going to drive sales results for their business. What do you got?
Yeah, I'll try to go quick, but I don't like just throwing out tips without context. So I'll give a tip.
Maybe as long as you want. That's all right.
Okay, I'll give you a tip.
I go over for the good stuff.
All right. I'll give you a tip and then show you the actual outcome from it. So I think a lot of us are concerned about what we're posting on social media. How do we post? How often? So on and so forth. That's great. You should be to an extent. But end of the day, if you're posting your content, you're just hoping the right person reaches out to you instead of being proactive and either DMing them or commenting on their posts. So I think commenting is a very underutilized practice for getting more engagement for your own content, but also forming strong connections. And the best comments include a question, because that way the person whose post you're commenting on has a reason to reply back to you. So what I would say to everybody is write down 40 people you want to know or be known by for whatever reason. Maybe they're event organizers, maybe they're potential business partners, could be clients, whatever it is. Write down these 40 individuals, make sure they actually are active on the LinkedIn platform or whatever platform it is, and then engage with their content with a question. What's the outcome of that? On my end, I saw this woman, her name's Issa Adney from ConvertKit, posting online, and I commented on her post. From that comment, that went to a DM that led to me having a case study written about me by ConvertKit. That led to me being featured in one of their books. That led to me speaking on stage in Boise, Idaho. And a month later, they did a documentary about me where they came to my home here in Brooklyn, recorded me and my family, our interactions, and released that recently as well. So one comment got me a book mention, a case study, speaking gig, and a documentary. So wow. that's what I wanted to like leave with, to be honest. I can give you more tips if you want, but like if you just
that's a good one.
More often, you will get amazing outcomes, because that's how you start conversations. That's the point of social media, to be social, right? So all this other stuff like AI and algorithm, sure, be concerned about it, but just engage with people and do so with curiosity and empathy. And as a result of that, you will build these powerful relationships, especially if you have a smaller audience. This is a strategy for you to go to. It's not trying to build, it's trying to engage.
I love that. You've just given me my tag is all about unlocking business relationships. And I feel like you just given like a power shot, for people that have even thought twice about it. Like just take some time and just make a comment, a question, and connect. And I love, love, love the results that you were able to achieve by one message can change your life. Change your life. And that's really the power of these platforms. And so you're doing it, and I love your content. So keep sharing, keep spreading the word, just keep stepping in your light. It's so nice to have you here, Terry. It's Terry Rice from the Hey Creator Agency. And if you got any questions, people will jump in, shoot some questions, and feel free to write back. You never know what may bring for tomorrow, right? It's been a pleasure having you here. So I really appreciate it with all the gratitude in my heart. Thanks for joining me today.
Yeah, thanks for having me. This was fun. I have more energy after our call than I did before. So it's always a good sign, and I appreciate it.
Yay! Spread your light. I'm here to do the same. So thank you so much for helping everyone on the East Coast. I'm over here on the West Side, and we'll be keeping everyone informed of new things, new exciting things to make the smart impressions for your own personal brand within your community, within your professionalism, and really just make those simple steps. Do it today. Don't wait, and I feel like each minute they wait, it's like 1 minute of a missed opportunity that could be as golden nugget that you had. So thank you so much for sharing.
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Cool. See you guys next week. Talk to you soon. Have a great day.
Take care.
Bye-bye.